Alright, time for another DraftPhysics.com. DebatePhysics.com also, but the debate is with pathetically stupid morons. I mean, I wish we could debate somebody with a brain, but nobody with a brain can show up on their side, so I can't debate somebody with a brain. I can just, these moronic video after video of illogical crap that I have already debunked numerous times as being just that, too silly for words even, but they just keep posting it. Okay, so anyway, we'll just acknowledge that they're all fucking kooks. Alright, so anyway, there's nothing else to do here. It's amazing how broken the internet is, how much it sucks that you really can't force anybody to be accountable for the crap they do and say. It's just terrible. But anyway, it's all the world we exist in because humans are fucking assholes.
So if we have a spring,
According
to Hooke's law,
it's going to teach us
Just
about
say we-
springs. So let's understand, Hooke was not a Leibnizian, okay? He didn't believe in mv squared. All right, so understand that context. And what he clearly said was, look, how much you move the spring is completely proportional to how much force is in the spring. So he's basically saying force and distance are the same thing. He's saying those are the same thing. If this is 2, then this is 2. If this is 3, this is 3. That's what he's saying. They're the same thing. So, of course, multiplying them by each other would be just basically saying I'm going to just multiply the same thing times the same thing. Yeah, and why would he do that? Oh, that's right. He wouldn't. These morons will, but he wouldn't.
we were going to compress that spring one distance. That takes a certain amount of force. And Hooke's law basically states that if you compress it twice as much, twice the distance, it'll take twice as much.
Right, and Hooke believed force was energy. He didn't believe it was something else. So let's understand, there was no confusion in even as much as Newton and Hooke disagreed with each other. They both agreed, okay, that force is energy.
Force, so nothing wrong there. But when it comes to energy is
So this is much later, 1800s. This nonsense was invented. This isn't even Leibniz. This is just something they manufactured to, do their Einsteinian fake physics.
product of force times the distance.
Yeah, so it's just, Hooke says they're the same thing. Distance and force are going to be the same basic number, proportional, just like Newton stated. Twice the force, twice the velocity, twice the distance, frankly, especially without friction. Twice the distance, no doubt about it. Twice the velocity, twice the distance. So clearly that's what they're stating. Clearly they don't do this. So this is just the part he's added, okay, as his little special treat.
So if we look at, say, compressing the spring one distance, and that takes
That's 1F, yeah.
one amount of force to go one distance. So
Right, so there's no logic to multiplying the same thing times itself. So once you know the two things are proportional, why would you multiply them times themselves? There's no logic to it. You're multiplying the same thing times the same thing.
the energy would be the force times the distance. 1 times 1 equals 1. And
So it's just more evidence that obviously their formula doesn't work very well. If this is how somebody's going to apply it, then it's not going to work at all. Now, of course, the FD thing had more to do with distance traveled, and obviously in reality, the distance traveled will just be twice the distance for twice the force. But again, why would somebody multiply these two things? Because they're the same number.
second scenario, they've
been derived from the same event. There's only one event, and they're claiming there's two events that need to somehow be multiplied times each other. Not even added, but multiplied.
compress the spring twice as much, and according to Hooke's law, that takes twice as much force, which it does, because I've tested it with a force meter.
So it takes twice the force, right? Something that weighs twice as much puts twice as much weight on something. Yes, duh. Now, why would I square it?
Not that I needed to. I mean, it's a proven fact anyway. But so in that scenario, we've got twice as much force, and we've got twice as much distance.
Yes, and the distance is an exact consequence of the force. There's no other There's no other thing that created the distance except for the force applied. So again, why am I multiplying the force times the force? There's just no good reason. Okay. So that's the brilliant analysis. I'll just explain again.
Force times distance is 2 times 2, which gives you 4 energy.
Right. So you put 5 pounds on a scale, you get 1 unit of force. You put a second 5 pounds on, you have 4 units of energy now. So you get 1 unit of energy for 5 pounds. You just add 5 more pounds and you get 4 now. I mean, I'll draw it over and over again, but I mean, that's what they're saying is the truth. That's their definition of reality. Reality says that happens. And if I add a third 5 pounds, triple the weight, I'll have 9 times the energy inside the scale. And if I add a fourth 5 pounds, I'll have 16 times the energy. And if I take 1 pound, one more 5 pound weight, and I just put that on, now I have 25 times the energy in the spring. Magic. Just pure, beautiful magic. Isn't the function of the universe marvelous? That you can make all of this free energy. Yeah. We have it all around us. I mean, there's so much evidence of how the free energy actually works. I mean, we all have our own little free energy devices, right? So, that's it. Too frickin' stupid. Alright, so before we read the comments, we'll just go over... Look, Ian Gosling already suggested this nonsense. It's just too silly, too stupid, and I can just illustrate over and over again. This is what they are saying the truth is. So you just have to understand. I mean, it doesn't get more pathetic. Flat earthers don't make arguments this frickin' stupid. So I have a scale. Alright, and I just take a mass, and I put it on the scale, and I get 1 unit of energy. Alright, now I take the same exact mass, and I put it on the scale, and now I have 4 energies. So, and if I took this and it was a 2 mass to start with, and I just take 1 2 mass, and I put that on the scale, I get 4 energies. That's their theory. They believe this happens in reality, that I put the 1 mass on the scale, I have a certain amount of kinetic energy stored in the scale. All right, whatever, 200 joules, let's say. Just to use any old number. And all I have to do is put this second one on. All right, and now it's not going to be 200. It's not going to be 400 joules. No, it's going to be 800. Yeah, 800. 800 joules. I'm going to gain 1 unit here and 3 units here to get a total. So that, I'm going to gain 1 and then 600. It'll be 1. I get 200 joules in the first weight, and then the second weight's put on, it's going to add plus 600 joules. And I'm going to end up with 800 joules of energy stored in the spring. I mean, again, it's just absolute nonsense. What Hooke was basically saying is, no, it's the weight is energy, frankly. Okay? And you can just read it on a scale. So let's just say if I did put a mass on the scale, and then I pick the scale up and I put it sideways, right? Okay, leaving it still compressed. And now I let it shoot that mass, because now there's no gravity. So now I can shoot the mass. Well, what's this mass going to leave with? Yeah, that's right, 1 mile per hour. All right. And so what if I have 2 masses on there, and I have twice the compression in the spring, what's it going to leave at? Well, 1 mile an hour, because it's a 2 mass. Right? I mean, you can't, they're just pretending here. This is just all fake nonsense. It doesn't happen in reality. You can't make this happen. You can't store more and more kinetic energy in a spring merely by adding weights. 5 times the weight, 25 times the energy in the spring. Come on. They believe it, right? Just like they believe it takes 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast. Or that something going 5 times as fast does 25 times the damage. They have no evidence that's true, but they believe it. Alright, so let's read some of the moronic comments. So these are all people confirming that they believe this. They believe that 1 pound is 1 unit of energy, and 2 pounds is 4 units of energy. Alright, so nicely explained, Michael. So this is Stephen Bro. So Stephen Bro believes you can do this. You can put 1 pound on, 1 unit of energy. Put the second pound on, 4 units of energy. I suppose it helps the person listening to this actually trust the formula anyway. I suppose it helps if the person listening to this actually trusts the formula anyway. So trust is what you're depending on. So this again is a religion because, frankly, belief without evidence is religion. Okay. I've honestly no idea what Goofy believes. So, I've only been saying it for 2 years. I put it in 5-minute videos. I've said it over and over. I am not a Leibnizian. You people are Leibnizians. Okay? I'm not. That's pretty simple right there. Or doesn't believe these days. So, what a bizarre nothing comment. Let's see what the reply was. Thank you, Steve. That's a lot. That's a lot of where he goes wrong, holding beliefs. So what does that even mean? Every single person on earth has to have an opinion of some kind. You can't walk, you can't move, you can't talk, you can't do anything if you don't make some decision somewhere about who you are and what you believe. It's not about what we would like to believe. So again, obviously you're believing it for some reason. Oh, that's right, because you hate me, and that's it. All right, that's your only reason. When it comes to science. So he says this is science. Okay, it's about what the evidence, big space, presents. So where's the evidence of this? Sorry, I don't see the evidence anywhere. I don't see you doing 25 times the work with 5 times the weight. So show me you doing that somewhere. Show me the 5-ton train beating the crap out of the 10-ton train going half as fast. Show me that. Presents and accepting the facts. Right, there aren't any facts here, except the fact is that you believe without evidence. That's the fact. The fact is that Leibniz was buried a bullshitter. Okay? Nobody fell for it. People 400 years ago were smarter than you. That's the fact. Which seems impossible for him as he holds firm beliefs. So again, it's just bullshit. I hold that I've been on planet Earth pretty long. I've seen lots of stuff. I've done lots of stuff. And I understand how it works. And I certainly understand that doubling the weight doesn't quadruple the energy. Okay, I have no evidential basis of any kind, which is, again, obvious nonsense. There's really good evidence it doesn't take 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast. So it's anyone's guess why he believes what he believes. So again, just amazing nonsense. I've explained in every video why I believe it, because the evidence, in my opinion, is dramatic, what evidence there is. Okay, you can do all kinds of logical arguments. I suppose the space one is the most convincing. The fact that a rocket ship is not moved by kinetic energy is pretty convincing evidence that it's not real. If it can't move matter in empty space, then it ain't real. Okay, and the fact is, you can do the ballistic pendulum, you can do the gun recoil and the bullet, you can do whatever one you want to pick that has this insane disproportion in the amount of kinetic energy 10-ton train out one side, 5-ton train out the other side, and it don't move the ship. The physicist will admit that. So right there, you should be figuring, hey, if it doesn't move matter in empty space, I don't think I could call it energy. All right. Evidence doesn't seem to compute with him. Just his feelings in his waters, I don't know what that means, is enough to convince him of his out there beliefs. So it's an out there. Mine are Newton's beliefs, Galileo's beliefs, and Descartes' beliefs. Those are the they're way out there. Yeah, they got right answers. What idiots. Fuck them. What fools to think right answers matter. Oh, amazing. So Gosling says, no, it doesn't if you do it really quickly. And he's doing this little crying, laughing thing. So again, he doesn't believe it's more work to lift something slowly and less work to lift it quickly. He doesn't believe it. Too fucking stupid. Apparently it makes no difference, so I don't know what this was, but apparently it isn't anything anymore because it didn't work before. Hey, it's working now. No, it isn't. Clip not available. Oh, how tragic. So I guess it was just some joke or something. Some malformed, perverse, stupid pile of shit, actually. So then even the Sean Walker guy just says, yes, MGH. So again, they're just going to keep ignoring all the evidence that gravity cares about time. That rocket ships have to leave the Earth quickly or they won't have enough fuel. They just don't care that that's an absolute fact. Alright. And Goofy agrees until he realizes at that moment he fucked up. So, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's just, another clip that doesn't exist, I guess. Yes. Great. I mean, what fucking retards. Alright, these two links no longer seem to work, Michael, as if the videos have been removed. So they're obviously not my videos. Thanks for the heads up, Steve. He most likely made them unlisted, as he probably realized he messed up big time. So I don't even understand what the fuck he's talking about. So there's no reference here at all demonstrating this as unlisted videos still show. So let's understand, an unlisted video will still show if you link to it. So that's absolute crap. So what are you talking about, Michael, you lying sack of shit? God, what a puke. What a fucking piece of shit. Alright. I mean, just, too stupid. Too dishonest. So now we'll move on to the Dispar liar. They're just all liars. Oh, here. DraftScience Gary lies corrected again. Now, he's not going to correct any lie. There was no lie in my video. He's certainly not going to quote my video and point out any lie whatsoever. So that's obviously bullshit. So I haven't got to that one yet. But Dispar has done the coupled oscillator again. Alright, now I did, just for the hell of it, because he won't admit it, so I did put a comment on his other lie video with the very fake, I'm going to knock the container over, and he's pretending the velocities at the base of the pendulum are the same as the velocities with which they're going to hit the container 4 inches away, when clearly the velocities aren't going to be the same. And obviously the faster thing, taking the bigger arc, is going to retain a lot more of its energy than the thing with the shorter arc that's going to hit it much later in its arc. So I said, you have had 11 days to acknowledge the obvious flaw in this experiment. The video implies that the velocities that impact are proportional to the velocities you measured. And that simply isn't true. So I've drawn that at least 3 times, pointing out how it can't be true. Alright, the object traveling the longer arc retains more of its velocity by comparison to the object traveling the shorter arc. So that's the explanation, not very complicated. This video is fake science, and you should be embarrassed to leave it unannotated. And so The Falwell guy's done the same thing. He's left a video up that's a complete pile of rubbish. He admits the measurements are wrong. He hasn't redone it. He hasn't done anything to acknowledge the video is giving a completely false impression. All right, it completely fails to demonstrate what you claim, and it is simply a lie. So let's see if he'll respond. Because no one else would. So the video's been up for 11 days. I've pointed out the huge flaw, and no commenter has said anything about fixing it or changing it or maybe take it down or maybe just to forget you did it, because it just is not a good experiment. It's a deceptive experiment. Somebody watches his video, they will be deceived. Unless they're as smart as me. Yeah. Alright, so anyway, so he's done this coupled pendulum crap. And it's just, now he's got, he's doing the same play with the numbers game. So he has done one fix. So he played a clip from my video. So this is how they play. He takes one clip from my video where I explained what the possible problems were with his setup. And I pointed out at least 3. Okay. And so he plays one of those. He corrects for one of them. So I did point out that his stick, okay, he was using this piece of stick, all right, as a way of supporting the pendulum. And so I made it clear that, yeah, that's not great. Now, I did say in my own analysis, I said maybe it's good enough, who knows. So he has a stick, okay, that can bend. And obviously if the 2 pendulums are hanging off that stick, the stick can do this, which means it can lift objects up and it can drop objects down. And that's frankly doing work. That's storing energy. Every time it lifts something up, it's going to store some energy. So it'd be best for this to be rigid. So now he's replaced this with a steel bar. And the catch is, now, guess what? His setup doesn't, the objects don't stop moving. So they never stop, really good. And the reason why they don't do that is because, yes, before what they were actually doing when they were stopped was they went up. So when they stopped, they went up, and that's the catch. All right, so what I suggested also, okay, other things I suggested was, yeah, get the string off of, get this, the tensioner off of the string, because that just creates a kink in the pendulum. That means it just lifts and drops, and you don't want lifting and dropping. So ideally it would be best to connect right to the pieces themselves, okay, because that way you're less chance of interfering by creating motion up and down, because you don't want any motion up and down, because that's storing energy. And the whole point is to see if you're getting all the energy in one object and all the energy in the other object. And the other simple fix I said was, when you initiate the energy, initiate it this way. Because if you initiate it this way, this will be completely relaxed. So there'll be no tension. He's pulling it out this way. Now the obviously flaw there is that the string goes tight and this object moves this way a little bit. So you're adding not just this motion, but you're also adding this motion. So your total energy isn't the velocity of this object, it's the velocity of this object plus this object. So if you initiate the action this way, then you take your first reading, okay, say 700 as a velocity. The point will be is, will you be able to retain that? And more importantly, will you be able to get that 700 back, or anything close to that 700 velocity back again? And that'll demonstrate that the momentum is still in the system. So fixing the bar broke the fact that it just doesn't stand still anymore. So it did matter. He's mocking it, but it obviously did matter. Alright, so we'll play a little bit of this, but you can see the obvious that there's nowhere near standing still. It doesn't even come close. These don't even come close to stopping. Alright, so the light one's on the right side, the left side, and the heavy one's on the left side. So the white one is the light one. And so what you really have to see is how much does, when it comes as close as it comes to stopping, how much is it moving? And you'll clearly see that the white one comes a lot closer to stopping. That is the light one. So the heavy one has most of the energy. And when the light one has the energy, the heavy one's still moving, which means it's not going as fast as it could, because some of the energy is stuck in that heavy object. And you'll see it. It's just clear. You'll see it if I show it to you. Yeah. Alright, let's start from the beginning again. We'll just do this one trial. So he's clicking when he's hoping it stopped, but it's obviously not stopped. So obviously you can see he initiated it from the wrong side. So let's just look at that real quick and you can see the obvious truth. The obvious truth is the string tightens, he's pulling this back, and at the same time he's pulling this one back. So he's got two sources of energy in the system, not just one. So when he measures this one's velocity, that's not all of the momentum in the system. It also, he has stored some here also. You can see it going, it's going, it's going. So that means this has energy in it, right? You can see that, right? Well, I could always use my pointer. I mean, I could always just use my finger maybe too. Yeah, let's see. I gotta turn camera 3 on. It's not working. Oh, camera fell over. Yeah, that's probably a good reason for it not to work. I don't know if I should fix it now or fix it later. I wonder what the hell the problem is. Alright, so this one over here, wow, it's backwards, cool. Yeah, it's backwards from my perspective somehow. Alright, well anyway, this one over here, he's dropping that in, but you can see over here, this one's already moving before this one even goes through the gate. Alright. Alright, so he's going to try to hit this button when the one stops, and then he's going to go. So you can see how little the white one's moving now. Just see how little it's moving. So it's almost going to stop, but it doesn't quite stop. And then she's going to switch it over, and now watch the silver one. It really doesn't come close to stopping. It's still going an inch in arc. It never goes less than an inch. So it's clearly storing a substantial amount of energy. And because it's much heavier, the little bit of movement it's doing is 3 times the momentum. So it has 3 times the momentum for any motion it has. So it clearly has a lot more motion, and with each bit of motion it's 3 times the energy. So clearly it's storing the little extra hunk that he's calling the 0.4 crap. Okay, so he's clearly not getting all the energy into one object and all the energy into the other object. Doesn't happen anywhere in this experiment. So watch the white one. It'll come a lot closer to stopping. It doesn't stop, but see, it's a lot smaller arc. A lot smaller arc, and it's a lot lighter. So that means that the heavy one has gotten a lot of the energy. So it's gotten a larger percentage than when it goes the opposite way. The lighter one's going to be a little short because the heavier one's going to store more of the energy. So I went through all this in the video that he quote mines. So he quote mines a video where I explained all this. I said, look, it's momentum. All you can do is raise and lower things. That's all this experiment is about how high something is in gravity, a mass. And he's saying that somehow he can create the experiment where there's some point where there is a lack of height somewhere. That somehow there's less energy in the system stored in the system. And you can't do that. You can't destroy the momentum. I mean, there is some in the paperclip itself, but again, it's a minor amount. So again, nothing stopped. Not close to stopping. So look at the big one. Silver one still going, still going, still going, still going, back and forth. An inch of arc. Never stops. Now it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, so it never stopped. So really, bullshit experiment once again. You have to measure both of these momentums. So unfortunately, apparently this thing he bought, he can't do both of these at the same time. It only has one readout. So he can't really monitor both sides and recognize that when he has his peak velocity here, he still has velocity on the other side. So anyway, just bullshit. Another bullshit experiment claimed to be a proof. Complete crap. Okay, so this Gosling says, golly good show to spar. What an irritation. I don't know what that is. The 1.4 must be to Bob Smith. So these comments are so inane. It's like it's almost, you know, this should be a whatever they call that stuff that makes you vomit. Anyway, despicable creatures. So yeah, just more junk. So let's go to the Gosling. Insane, no doubt going to be an insane analysis. 10 minutes, that's a little long. Alright, well, I'm not going to do a 10-minute video, but we'll see. See how it starts. That'll tell us all we need to know. I guess I could turn off this camera now.
DraftScience is either deliberately lying.
So just absolute nonsense. So all I pointed out is when you tip something over, you have to lift some portion of its mass. That's what you're going to do. There's no other way to do it, frankly.
Or he doesn't understand.
You're lifting something, a mass in gravity. That's how you're using the object's energy, is you're lifting another object.
Stand. My view is that it's both.
We'll just get to it.
He both doesn't understand.
Yeah, whatever. You fucking suck. You smell. You're ugly as fuck. You're such a fucking piece of human
tube is
garbage.
Just kissing the bottom of the king's ring.
And where did I even talk about the king's ring, whatever that is? When did I didn't even talk about the fucking tube. There's nothing in my video where I even mentioned his height being bullshit. The height is irrelevant. I pointed out how there's no way you can do this experiment fairly because one object's moving twice the velocity. It's moving twice. This is the same as the lever argument, for fuck's sake. If I move something, if I take that mass, that wooden block, and I say, let's say I'm going to move 30 grams up. The obvious fact I'm pointing out to you is gravity is a time-dependent force. If I move it up twice as fast, I'll do half as much work. That's the point, you retard. God damn, of my video. He can't understand anything. He's just way too stupid.
That's bottom dead centre.
Okay, this is a waste of my
velocity,
time. I didn't.
The one mass, do not the will over. And then it's a case of when we put the half mass on, and we raise the Bob Smith further.
Yeah, we didn't bother with any of that. I didn't complain about any of this nonsense. I pointed out how it's an unfair comparison because what you're doing at twice the speed means you're doing twice as much work when you're moving it half as fast. That's the point. The point is you're lifting weight, and the point is if I lift it quicker, I'll do less work. That's the point. That's the fact you're ignoring.
Height. We can measure that height by extending the thread up, kissing the king's ring again.
Oh, fuck
4
you.
times as high.
God, he talks such faggoty stuff. I can't. Ooh, it's so creepy. So again, he's doing the same bullshit. It's twice the velocity, moron. Okay, or it's not even twice, but it's much faster. The fact that it's going much faster means it's going to do less work. It's less work to lift it because it's lifting it faster. I mean, how can you not understand that? Now, obviously, you don't believe that because you're a moron. I can't help that you're a moron. All right, so this has absolutely nothing to do with my argument at all. So let's see if he gets to the wood and the hinge. I drew it, I made it so simple. But I said, take the block of wood off and just lift the hinge. You do understand that to make the hinge tip, I have to lift the hinge. Lift it. Lifting this mass up. And if I lift it really, really, really slowly, I'll do a lot of work. And if I lift it very quickly, I'll do a lot less work. That's the simple argument. He'll never defeat that argument because it's an absolute truth that gravity is a time-dependent force. All right, let's listen to this part. I'll put it. slow it down a little bit. Okay.
And then no part of it would rise, as you worry about. It would just tip over, and it would be going in the down direction.
It doesn't go in the down direction without going in the up direction. If it just went in the down direction, it wouldn't take any energy at all. The whole reason why it takes energy is because you have to lift it. Moron.
At every point would be going downhill. I might need to put a little stiffener on the hinge so that the Bob Smith has a bit of work to do. But
I don't know. Why all this jargon? The Bob Smith. What the fuck are you talking about?
Here's a little bit of advice for you, Gary.
Oh, go fuck yourself till thoroughly dead. God, please. Yeah. Intervene.
You claim that no physicists will interact with you.
I claim they're cowards, pathetic cowards. I'm claiming that, yes, I offer them money to make reasoned arguments and they can't function in that way. That has been proven fact.
Of course they won't. You don't know how to carry on.
Oh, right. You know, there's all these guys debunking flat earthers. Do you think the flat earthers know how to carry on? What a pile of shit. They're cowards. Oh.
And talk. What you should say.
Oh, fuck this. I mean, this is just a waste of my time. All right. He's not going to argue anything here. He doesn't have enough brain cells to argue anything.
No evidence. You have never been right on anything.
All right, so fuck this. Just a waste of time. All right. So enough of a video. So the live videos remain up. Falwell's grotesque live video where he measured the height completely wrong and he's pretending the video's good. And then we have the video by, who's the other asshole? Obviously. Oh yeah, Despar. Yeah, Despar's live video. I mean, it's almost, 11 days now. Completely fake and phony in terms of what it's implying takes place. And again, this, you could argue, is another live video in a sense, because he's just ignoring the fact that there's a huge difference between lifting something slowly. There's less momentum in it when I lift it slowly. It doesn't retain any velocity, so I'm pushing on the weight the entire time. I don't gain any advantages of velocity. That is, I don't use momentum to get me through, velocity. So I will use more calories if I do this than if I do this. That's an absolute fact. It's less work. It's less time opposing the force. Less force, less rain, less paint gets on this wrench the faster I lift it. Less gravitational paint gets on this the faster I move it from here to here. And that's the part I'm doing. I'm doing the here to here part. I'm not doing anything later or nothing before. Just the here to here part. And it's going to be less work. Absolute fact. And again, it'll be demonstrated over time. I mean, eventually, okay, the truth does win. It's just sad that certain truths, like Jesus wasn't God or Muhammad wasn't God, it takes an awful long time for human beings to figure out that those totem poles are moronic. And the totem pole of 1/2 mv squared is also moronic nonsense. Unevidenced crap.